Did you guys see all of the female dominated professions that will no longer be considered professional starting in 2026 summertime? And yes, there is a list. So if you went to school to be a nurse practitioner or an advanced nurse practitioner or a physical therapist or a teacher, which is a really big one, there's a lot of other ones that are on the list that are very much so female dominated spaces. They are saying that you are no longer a professional anymore. Your degree means nothing. All the people who have gone to school for these things and worked their butt off for 4 years or 6 years, it doesn't even matter anymore because they are changing the whole system. And this is just the start of Project 2025. I do find it weird that they're only choosing the ones that women dominate. I find that really strange because it seems like to me they are trying to take a lot of steps backward. If you are a woman and you have gone to school for this or are going to school for this, I would definitely look into this and probably raise hell. This is not okay. But you know what's weird? They have taught us what to do and how to do it and to trust in the system for so long. And then when you actually grow up and you do it, they flip the whole system. That's just what they do. They're evil people.
All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is, and that is who the world ignorantly calls God. Bahashem, which means in the name. Yahweh Shai, which means He is our salvation, and that is who the world also ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man, who, by the way, only came for the Israelites, all right? Now, what brings us to our discussion / topic tonight is, as you saw, that Donald J. Trump is getting ready to declassify a lot of these careers or professions that you call now a professional career. By sometime next year, it won't be titled a professional career. So here it is. You're going to school to be a nurse or a nurse's practitioner, and the outcome, or should I say the overall outcome, isn't going to weigh the cost that it's going to take you to pay for that schooling to get a career in that field. Because why? It's not going to be recognized as a profession anymore. So this is from the Newsweek. It says full list of degrees not classified as professional by Trump administration, all right? And this was published November the 21st, okay? And today is November the 21st, 2025, all right? So it says, students doing certain degrees may no longer receive the same amount of reimbursement for their studies now that the Department of Education is implementing various measures from President Donald Trump. One big, beautiful bill, okay? So let's see if we can look through this article and see if we can figure out or extrapolate anything worth stopping and reading over. However, there are a number of what many see as professional degrees missing from the new list, such as nursing, which sparks significant concern amongst nurses and nursing organizations, right? Because we know Eve, she is into that nursing, okay? Now that this is going to be what it looks like to be crossed off of a list of professions where Eve ain't going to be making those six-figure salaries anymore, we're going to see just how much Eve wants to be a nurse, okay? And we're gonna get down to the list eventually, but let's just scroll through this, all right? Let's stop at this paragraph right here. It says, this means that those doing high costing degrees who may no longer receive the same amount as their degree may not be deemed professional. What else? Could financially struggle to cover the costs, which could deter students from choosing to pursue those high demand careers, right? Because why? AI is going to eventually take over this whole industry. All right. Jobs aren't going to be necessary anymore. All right. If you can't see the way that this thing is moving, you have to open your eyes and see. Okay. A lot of these careers that you thought was secure and safe, especially in the industry of, helping others, they're going to get AI. All right. Artificial intelligence to do. They're not going to need the urgency of nurses or audiologists, or we're going to get that list and see more, okay? Because this is all coming to an end. Babylon the Great is finished, man. What to know? Under the terms of Trump One Big Beautiful Bill, the repayment assistance plan, RAP, will be brought in to replace previous programs. See? This means that the Grad Plus program, designed to help graduate and professional students cover educational expenses, will be scrapped, while Parent Plus loans, student loans available for parents of dependent undergraduate students, will be limited. So even your loans and grants is going to be limited to what you can get. All right? It's pretty much over with. The American experience is over. All right. And it's just going to be more and more apparent as things go on. Okay. Careers that you once thought was secure ain't going to be there no more. All right. And this is all coming to an end. All right. This is why Isaiah 4:1 is going to take place. 7 women, which is a number of completion, should take hold of 1 man. All right. It's going to be scarce out here. All right. Where you're going to have to scrape together your resources. Okay. Just to get by. All right. And this is the time that we're heading into. It says the new and simplified RAP will see annual loans for new borrowers capped at $20,500. So imagine your tuition is more than that when you can't get any more. All right. So how are you going to make a profitable career if you can't even get a loan to take out to what? Get the degree. Because why? It ain't going to be deemed a profession anymore, okay? No need for that. It says, and $50,000 for professional students. This means that what degrees count as professional and non-professional is now a determining factor in how much financial support students will receive. See? So if your career or job isn't deemed professional, you're not going to get those big loans or grants anymore, okay? They're drawing back, or they're peeling back the fraud, okay? They're not going to no longer give you these big grants, okay? Because why? Your career, your profession, as of today, the 25th, 2025, November, ain't going to be deemed the same in 2026. So let's see if we can get down to some of the professions, okay? Because they said they had a list, and here's the list. It says, list of degrees not classed as professional by Trump. We have anything in the nursing, anything in physician assistants, anything in physical therapists, anything in audiologists, anything in architects. These can all be replaced by AI. Anything in accounts, educators such as teachers, social workers. All right. These will no longer be classified as professional moving forward, according to the One Big Beautiful Bill. Okay. It goes on to what people are saying, and there's going to be some uproar. All right. Because it's to be expected. All right. Especially if you got, loans and you took out grants and so on and so forth. You thought you was going to make it in Babylon the Great, only to come to find out that ain't going to be the case, okay? Because why? AI is here to stay, okay? You won't be, but AI will be, okay? And this is exactly where they want to take it at, all right? Scarcity. It's going to be a scarce for jobs, all right? It's going to be a lack of famine, okay? And you've been warned. All right, you've been warned. Let's look at that list one more time, and then we'll get a few precepts and close out. It says nursing, physician assistants, physical therapists, audiologists, architects, accountants, educators, social workers. All right. If you got any type of ambitious to be any of these or be in any of these fields, you might want to think twice, okay? Because they're not going to be looked at as a professional anymore, okay? So let's get a couple of precepts and we'll take it from there. This is Isaiah 19:14. It reads, Yahweh have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Now here it is, verse 15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. See? So jobs are going to be at a scarce, all right? At least those that you can get paid a fairly decent wage for because you have a degree and it's a professional, all right? Your degree that you have right now might not be worth anything, but the paper is printed on, okay? They're going to say your degree doesn't mean anything. That's not a professional job anymore. It says, in that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of Yahweh of hosts, which he shaketh over it. See? So the Lord is in control of all of this, all right? He's bringing this place to an end, all right? For no other reason, for his name's sake, all right? And you don't got too much time left, all right? So enjoy your little bit of freedom or whatever you think you under and you have for the time being, because the Lord is going to shake things up. We just read it, all right? He's going to shake these things up, and especially you proud women, all right? Because we know that's your expertise, okay? Nursing, teaching, and social services, okay? Those no longer available as professionals, you know, because those are pretty much the fields where the women, and Eve, be more specific, dominating. What are you going to do then? Okay? What are you going to do then? Social services, educators, physical therapists, nursing. That's going to wipe out 95% of Eve independency, okay? And then she's going to be what? Have to rely on a man, okay? And not just a man, but that man may have other women. And guess what? She's going to have to get in line, okay? Or else try to go out there and make it by yourself, all right? This is Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. It reads, and in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. See? And that's vastly coming to this place, man. All right. You women, you proudful women that thought your careers would last forever, it's getting ready to come to an end. Okay. We just read it. All right. That one big beautiful bill is going to put a lot of women down to the notch where they not as high-minded as they once thought they were, okay? So it ain't going to be nothing for these women to be throwing it, throwing that box your way, okay? Because their careers ain't going to be worth anything, all right? That loftiness, all right? That proudfulness, as it says in, what is that? Is that Isaiah? Might be Isaiah 32 and 9 says, rise up, ye women that are at ease. See, right now you got a career, all right? You can have that lofty 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom house, whatever you want, but once your careers aren't worth anything anymore, you go into these nursing schools and getting these degrees to be a nurse and all this, a physical therapist, a social service worker, so on and so forth. Once that's not deemed a high demand, well, let me just say a high profession, because it may still be in demand, but the profession won't be, all right? It will not get you the desired outcome, what you're looking for, which is a 6-figure, salary. It says, rise up, you women that are at ease. Hear my voice, you careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. See? So we telling you right now, okay? Your time is all but up, okay? Your loftiness, that independent spirit, you got a good career, a good job. You don't need a man to take care of you. You can take care of your own self. Well, we're going to see, all right? We're going to see just how well you get through when these professions that they deem as careers now are no longer looked at professions in a half a year or so, all right? So, Lord willing, all right? Because why? The proud and the boastful, they're going to have to come to reality, all right? That this place, Babylon the Great, is all but finished, okay? So rise up, ye women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech, okay? Many days and years shall ye be troubled, you careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease, be troubled, you careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. See? So we're getting ready to come into a very tumultuous time, okay? And you women, you're going to get the picture, all right? Sooner or later, you're going to get it, all right? And for some, it's going to be too late, all right? Because the man of the Lord ain't going to want to deal with you, man, all right? They just going to be able to read your spirit and know whether you come in peace or you come in some other type of spirit, all right? So you need to get right and repent while you still got time, and pray that the Lord put you in the path of a righteous man, all right, an elect man, because outside of that, you ain't going to make it out of here in Babylon the Great, the United States of America, all right? So we ain't going to make this too much more longer. Matter of fact, we just going to go ahead and close out. 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. It reads, be sober, be vigilant. See, we telling you these things so that you can see and that you can get right and repent, all right? Because you women, you're going to be vulnerable in this time. In that time, you're going to be vulnerable, all right? You're going to have no hedge, no protection. We're talking about once the famine of the word hits and this word is withdrawn from off the internet, from off the streets, and judgment is out, we going to see, just how well you get by without having a man and your little bit of a job or whatever you got left or whatever's left of this place, all right? When the AI comes in and take over, okay? Because the AI can do pretty much everything you do at a nursing station, all right? Tell the patients how much medicine to take, and probably have a robot that could come around to each patient and give them the right amount of dosage, okay? Fill out the paperwork and everything else. So it's only a matter of time. So be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, the so-called white man, Esau Edom, he's going to strip away that tit, okay? He's going to make it bare. He's showing you right now, okay? He's showing you right now about what? Declaring that these careers, these professions will no longer be considered that in 2026, all right? So it says, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour, right? All right? So Eve is pretty much the experiment of the serpent and Eve. He's showing you that he no longer needs you anymore, all right? You have accomplished that what he set out to use you for, which was what? To break up the household, to put you out into the workforce, take you away from your natural habitat, which is in the house, keeping the house clean, cooking, watching after the children, and he gonna put you in these careers, preoccupied you. Now he no longer needs you, so now he's getting ready to throw you away, okay? And let you be out there on your own, all right? And good luck with trying to do that on your own, all right? So this devil, he's getting ready to cut ties with Eve, man, all right? The experiment is just about through. He already used you, brought you into the workforce, created division, and now that we waking up to this truth, he's saying we no longer need her, okay? Cut her off. That six-figure salary, no more. We gotta be more efficiency. Okay, Doge, Department of Government Efficiency. All right. So Eve services are no longer needed here in Babylon the Great. All right, to that extent where you're gonna get those high-paying salaries anymore. All right. So be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. All right. So with that being said, pray someone was edified through this lesson. And until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, stay strong, stay in the faith. We're almost home. Shalom. Peace.